Well, Democrats say those opposing health care reform are becoming disruptive and even violent at these town hall meetings. However, it was the folks supporting the health care reform plan who apparently got violent at one town hall in St. Louis, Missouri. Take a look at the tape.
I don't want to get involved in that at all.
And there is another one happening on screen right. The one on screen right involves Ken Gladney, the victim, who was there just to sell merchandise. Now, his merchandise did have an anti-reform message. And Gladney says he was beaten, kicked, and called a racist by members of the Service Employees International Union outside of that forum. The union members had the navy blue T-shirts on. 2 days later, Gladney found himself in a wheelchair, and he and his attorney now say they are going to sue the SEIU union, as well as those responsible for the attacks on him. Well, since his ordeal, Gladney has become a poster boy for left-wing mocking, including this picture from a left-wing blog making fun of his injuries. Ken Gladney joins us live, along with his attorney, David Brown, who was also there, excuse me, on the night in question. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Megan.
Good morning.
Ken, let me start with you. You know, we saw this videotape of you getting attacked at this town hall meeting, outside of this town hall meeting. And now we see from this left-wing blog, whose name I won't repeat because we're not going to give them publicity here on this program, a picture of you in your wheelchair. And Ken, they have the following caption over it: Kenneth, the teabagging drama queen. And they mock your injuries, suggest you're milking this experience, and dismiss your entire account as somebody who has an agenda. Your response, sir?
Well, I like to say that, well, first of all, how am I milking anything? I didn't ask for this. I was just there to do a job. That's all I can really say about this whole ordeal.
You know, David, you were there, and he was attacked physically. There's no question he was attacked physically. We can see that for ourselves on the tape. And now he's being attacked online because people think you and he are, as I say, milking this, are pushing this beyond where it should naturally go, and that you're basically trying to exploit the situation. How do you feel about it?
Well, that could be further from the truth. Actually, just last night, Kenneth called me up, and he said he wanted to take this situation, that it's such a bad situation for him and the entire country with this dissension and violence at these town halls, and turn it into something positive. And Kenneth and I have developed a project. It's called Project Liberty. And once Kenneth is fully healed, he's going to be going cross-country, teaching children and the youth and students about liberties and the experiences that he went through, so that we can inform the public better as to their fundamental rights and how to protect themselves in the future.
But David, let me ask you, because we're gonna show this tape, and we're gonna spot shadow the attack on Kenneth. And it's tough to see because this man holding his shoulder right here, I believe you claim is one of his attackers, correct? Before we move on from that.
I can't
see the tape.
video.
Okay, my apologies. In any event, I think just so our viewers don't get confused, you can see easily one man down. He's an African-American gentleman. He's wearing a blue SEIU T-shirt. I believe, according to accounts I've read from you, you claim that guy had originally attacked Kenneth, who's on screen right.
Yeah.
And that
yes,
others
that's
had also
Elston
attacked. Yes, that's correct.
Elston McCowan is the African-American gentleman that initially attacked Kenneth. Mr. McCowan had ran for mayor in the city of St. Louis a couple years ago and claimed that the mayor of St. Louis firebombed his van. So that's who we're dealing with here, someone that blames the mayor of a major city of domestic terrorism.
So that's the guy who's now holding his shoulder. Kenneth, on the other hand, is over on screen right. He's wearing a tan shirt. He was just there to sell merchandise. He finds himself, according to you, with an SEIU member in his face, calling him the N-word, asking him what he's doing peddling that message. And the next thing you know, according to you, the SEIU rep punches him in the face. David, I want to get you to expand on this. You say Kenneth went to the ground, and then two other SEIU reps jumped on top of him, yelled racial epithets at him, and kicked and punched him. But I have to tell you, I did not see that on the videotape, and I just want you to explain why what I see on the videotape is just one guy jumping on top of Kenneth and taking him down from a standing position.
Well, you'll see the left-wing blogs will complain of this quite a bit. The problem is, in the real world, when there's a fight, it's not like you have a camera trained on a fixed point and you're expecting a fight just to come along like something out of a movie. When a fight happens, the eyewitness, the person with the camera, may have just get the tail end of a fight. So what you're seeing here is the tail end of the assault on Mr. Gladney. It's not the entire assault. And there's 3 independent eyewitnesses who will corroborate Mr. Gladney's story.
But you said that one guy punched him in the face, he went to the ground, and then 2 other union reps jumped on top of him and kicked and punched him. All this tape shows is one guy grabbing Kenneth and taking him down to the ground. It doesn't show him already down on the ground and then 2 guys jumping on top of him.
The first gentleman that put him down on the ground was Mr. McCowan, the African-American gentleman.
Yeah.
The other gentleman that put him down again is the white gentleman. Then there's another man who fled the scene.
Yeah.
So when he's saying that a person put him down on the ground, the person that put him down on the ground was initially Mr. McCowan, which is not shown in this video.
Okay. Kenneth, let me ask
Mr.
you.
McCowan.
Let me ask you,
Mr. McCowan.
we see you on the tape walking around after the attack, and you seem shaken up, but you seem physically all right. And then the 2 days later, there was videotape of you in a wheelchair out in front of a hospital, and your attorney sitting next to you had said at this appearance that you were too heavily medicated to speak. This is what has the left-wing blogosphere in a tizzy, suggesting, these injuries aren't real. What were you doing in a wheelchair?
It was 97 degrees that day. I talked to Kenneth that morning. Actually, I talked to his wife, and she said Kenneth doesn't feel well enough to come out. I said, well, we have a lot of people there supporting him, and if there's any way he could come out, it would be greatly appreciated.
But I wanted to ask Kenneth why he was in a wheelchair.
Well, because I was, again, medicated. I had just come from the hospital that night, and I was on medication that morning, and actually they had suggested, well, if you come out, you don't have to stand or walk or anything. We'll just have you sitting down and in a wheelchair, and that's what I did.
Okay, so contrary to what the left wing would have us believe online, this is not a picture of you, quote, milking it. This is a picture of you following doctor's orders.
No. And even Mr. McCowan, he laid himself on the ground after he kicked me, after the other people were jumping on me and kicking me and stuff. He laid himself on the ground.
So you're going back to the videotape saying your attacker suddenly was on the ground next to you after he had attacked you.
Yeah, he was crying to the police officer, oh, my arms broke, my arms broke. How can you, if his arms broke, his arms broke from hitting me in my face.
Kenneth, just one last word, because since they're calling you Kenneth the teabagging drama queen, do you have any affiliation with any of these tea parties? Were you there pursuant to anybody's request or as part of any movement or opposition group?
No, I was just there, like I said, doing a job. I was there distributing flags and everything and buttons. And actually, there were a couple of people that were interested in the buttons that I had, and I was actually showing them when he walked up and started throwing all those, derogatory words towards me.
Well, Ken, we hope you're okay. We hope you're doing better, and good for you for trying to turn this whole thing around into something positive. We appreciate both of you gentlemen coming on this morning.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All the best.
Right about 17 minutes now before the hour, the White House pushing its new website promoting